for this homecoming game in the Twin Cities, and away we go. With Kessitt sending it through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So we were just talking about Billy Edwards and the week he had last week, helping save the season for Maryland Terps with a career high in passing yards against USC.
And what allowed him to do that, Connor, was his command of the offense. Everything about what Mike Locksley is trying to do, he understands. He's a quarterback on the field by extension. He's a coach on the field by extension. He is outstanding. They're going to need him to be at his best today.
Game's opening snap. Edwards off play action. And he has it complete to the Big Ten's leading wide receiver, Ty Felton. Leading the Big Ten in receiving by a lot. And Roman Hemby into the waiting arms of Devin Eastern. With Jack Henderson in helping make the tackle.
Love the stop there. You got to do that with consistency and stack things on top. I almost felt bad for Roman Hemby. You know, the running back, he gets overlooked. Offensive line not playing well, but I think they're going to give him some opportunities tonight.
Yeah, Hemby with back-to-back runs, and he's out to the 40, a yard shy of the first down.
And I love it. That's a nice 8-yard run right there. It's an outstanding run, and it's what's going to give them balance. Now they stay ahead of the change, and it's what we call a pass-run conflict scenario. On defense, it's short. You don't know if they're going to throw it or pass it. This is a great position to be in. Here's you see the leadership coming into play, really coming to the line of scrimmage, assessing what the front is or the surface of the defense, now getting into the play and run away from the numbers, probably to the right side.
On a 3rd and 1. Edwards off a play fake and buzzes it incomplete. Wanted Caden Prather. Justin Waldy took him out in pass coverage. On a 4th down, Hemby is stopped. Baranowski and Kerry Brown in leading the charge. Minnesota ball.
Jordan Morgan is in there as well. There was a bunch of guys in there all over him at the point of attack. That's what you want to do. You want to live on the other side of the line of scrimmage. I don't care how good you are as a runner. If your defense is in your lap, it's going to be tough to get yards. And it's frustrating right now for Coach.
So Max Brosmer out for the first time at quarterback for Minnesota. Off a play fake, his first ball complete to his top wideout, Daniel Jackson, who cartwheels his way to the 35 with the first down.
Well, Barry Fisher's covering him here, and again, this is man coverage. Both these teams like to play a camp technique, playing inside, almost a bail technique, right? A wonderful job on a nice 24-yard gain here. If you're going to play press coverage and bail, Connor, you've got to front them up at some point, or know that that safety that's high in the middle is going to come down and give you some relief.
Almost the exact same start to this drive as the Maryland drive. 24-yard hit to Jackson, 1st and 10, and receiver and DB tangled up, and a flag comes out.
Pass interference. Defense. Ball be placed at the spot of the infraction. Automatic. First.
He's adding numbers on top of that knowledge as well. 68% completion percentage, a little play action, reverse.
And Christian Hoskins with a rare touch. And that's going nowhere.
You can clearly see that athleticism. Let's see if the discipline matches.
There's Taylor's first carry, and he is snowed under in the backfield. On the 3rd down, on the edge of the red zone. Brosmer to the sideline, complete to keep the drive going. Passing play on 3rd down, got him down here. Down toward the end zone. Jackson makes the turn. Touchdown for Daniel Jackson.
Guys, got to check your eye discipline when you get down here. And Jackson's going to come across. You got a split flow action, but he just goes in a nice little outcut. No need to go to the corner. Just settle down off that faux pick. We're not going to call it a technical pick. It was just another receiver, a battery made in front of him just to deflect and make it tough to peel off and cover him. Outstanding design on that play.
Said in a way only you could say it. The faux pick leading to the 2nd touchdown of the year for Daniel Jackson. Pressure leading to the screen, and Ray off his fingertips. Nolan Ray, fresh into the game, with pressure from Strigo right in the face of Edwards. Joyner Brosmer down on the bottom side of the screen on the 2nd down and 10. Coming off sacks in 3 straight games. They've got him blocked. Edwards with plenty of time, and Felton could not disengage in time to get away from Gooseby. Incomplete. Here comes a 3rd down. There's a flag we got to check on back in the pocket.
Holding. Offense, number 66, 10-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
They've got to settle down a little bit and be more effective up front.
Edwards is looking both ways for a screen, finds Felton, and he is found by Wally. On a 3rd and 18. Joyner almost got there. Now Edwards escapes. Switching hands to the edge and fighting shy of the 30. Needed the 35 to get the 1st down. So Minnesota's defense with a 4th down stop. After the hold, they come up with a 3rd down and long stop. And with the lead, getting the ball back. Boy, Parrish through the... And 65 yards to get for Minnesota. First drive touchdown where Brosmer at quarterback was perfect through the air on all 3 that he put up there. Play action to start this drive, escaped pressure, and Darius Taylor out of the backfield has him close to a 1st down.
Ball start. Offense, number 75, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
That antsiness backs him up 5 yards after the 7-yard hit to Taylor. Brosmer, and he threw outside. His receiver went inside, and him and Jackson not together, bringing up 3rd down. Minnesota's offense, middle of the Big Ten, and staying on the field. Maryland's defense, middle of the Big Ten, and getting off the field. What gives on a 3rd and 8? Brosmer to the edge, and has Jackson this time. The drive continuing, Lemecki Brockington underneath. So here's Jackson again, tight roping the sideline for a 1st down.
I didn't see an apparent target, but this top, maybe this is different. That's targeting. By definition, partner. By definition, that's targeting.
After further review, there is a targeting foul. Number 21 from Erlin has been disqualified. 15-yard penalty be added on to the end of the run. 1st down.
5 passes, no runs on this drive. A 6th pass from Brosmer is broken up. This Terps team, even when they have been healthy, something is happening when the ball is in the air. Either they're giving up yards or they're taking it away with a lot of interceptions.
And part of that, half of that equation is just mistakes. But again, their production there has been compromised because of Blendon Miller's absence. He's got 50% of those interceptions on the season.
First run of this drive. It's Marcus Major twisting off the 1st hit. And making this a 3rd down and medium coming up. On the 3rd down, Brosmer. Out to the edge again, and a 1st down. Into the lap of Lemecki Brockington. 1st down and goal, Gophers.
How about that Z receiver working the outside on the edge, right? Being able to get on the outcut, a very easy mark. Kevin Humas out there trying to defend him, but he can't get out there in time, and that's a really zone-type error on his part. Got to be able to read that and react a lot more quick.
Humes, a true freshman that has to play a lot of snaps because of the shorthandedness for Maryland. And with Brockington getting away from him, 1st and goal. Gophers looking for a 2-score lead. Brosmer falling away, and it's caught in the back of the end zone. Touchdown for Elijah Spencer.
When you talk about Max finding Elijah Spencer back here in this crowd, it's what they call a switch concept. You've got a mesh concept with the tight end crossing each other in front. And then to find him drifting in the back, absolutely. He said, let's roll that boat, baby.
Well, Minnesota rested. A 3 and out plus a 4th down stop for that Minnesota defense. Now Maryland in a familiar spot, down 14 like they were a few times last week. This drive starts with a run with Henby. They stayed ahead of the chains on that first run.
Nice protection.
And picked up the blitz from Henderson, but he got a hand on it, leaping over the protection of Henby. And it's third down again. Third down and 6. Coming off a 3 and out. That is picked off. Headed the other way. Justin Wally with a pick 6.
Justin Wally, one of the two voices on the back end, Ethan Robinson being the other, 5 and 2. And they come back 32 yards a net on this return here. A wonderful job of sitting down on that and eyeballing it. He knows there's no help behind him. But once he figured out the ball was coming his way, he made an executive decision and sat on that ball and hit his head on the goalpost on the other end.
21-zip Gophers. Wally coming off that pick 6. He's up at the top side. Maryland tries to get their day going on offense, and that'll help with Henby corkscrewing his way for a first down. Just 4 carries for 12 yards on a pass-heavy day for the Terps. Back to the air here in a wobbler off target. Chris Olave and Jackson Smith and Jigba. You know you had a day. On the other side with Minnesota's defense. On a third down. Edwards escapes. Edwards tucks it and runs and fights his way near the sticks. They've got him about a half-yard short. And Mike Loxley doubling down on a fourth down decision. Here's the second try at it. And he's close again. And he did get it.
Yeah, I think he got it by about a couple of links.
Nolan Ray with the stretch keeps the Terps offense on the field.
Well, as you said, it's a gamble again, and a list of gambles, I guess. Taking the play calling responsibilities over a couple of weeks ago. Mike Loxley's in a position where he's now able to gamble, as you said earlier, at the table. He's spending some big bucks right now.
Less than nothing there. Cody Lindenberg drives him back to Jack Henderson. After some Shrine Bowl running, it's second down for Edwards. Back to pass. And that is intercepted. Coy Parrish has another one. They call him Coy Wonder. His 5th takeaway in 3 games. The true freshman grabs another for the Gophers.
Edwards ends up airmailing this one to Ty Felton. He's going to his big target, right? This guy right here's got twice as many targets as anybody on this roster, but the ball is airmailed over the top of the target, and because he is who he is, Ty Felton that is, you've got defenders all around him. And I'm telling you, when you throw it, somebody's going to be around the ball and possibly going the other direction. And that's exactly what happened with the number 3 in the Pilfer.
And Parrish keeps on finding the ball. Brosmer out to the flat for Taylor. And he's inside the red zone. They'll be down 3 scores and Minnesota in scoring position. Brosmer back to the air. And Brockington is fended off. Good coverage from Thomas brings up third down. Newbin to the outside. And King Basote slows him up. And then the Terps rally with Donnell Brown. And it's fourth down as the first quarter clock winds inside 5 seconds. Two completions, 2 picks. The stat line in the first quarter for Edwards. And that is an ongoing conversation with him and Mike Loxley.
Well, there's a script for how to deal with quarterbacks in particular, and they've got to find something that's going to work to communicate to an otherwise on target and in command signal for him.
40-yard try from Kesich for Minnesota. And he twists it inside the upright. It took Coy Parrish 2.5 games as a full-time player in the secondary to set the freshman record for interceptions at Minnesota. Can Edwards work his way out of that no-man land after back-to-back picks? That is tipped. And very easily could have ended up in the hands of Wally. Then Williams with the underneath coverage. On 3rd and 9. Pressure coming. It gets to Edwards and it's knocked down incomplete. Ja Joyner shrinking that pocket. 4th down.
Well, the long arm Jaws, who we mentioned in our open, and again, I want you to understand where 17 is, but it's the games and the deals. This action right here, he can't get there and get home, but he can get those long arms on that 6'5" frame up in the air. 17 with the butt and then the hands up in the air to affect the quarterback. That's the elixir. That's the thing you need to do if you can't get home to the quarterback.
Mike Locks has got to be thinking, man, we've been able to run the ball much this year, and just from the look at Billy Edwards, seems like he's a little bit in his head. After back-to-back picks, and Parrish is on the run again, and Caleb Wheatland comes up and introduces himself. Looking like the 3-sport, 5-tool player, Dave Winfield. Well, Minnesota back on the ball, and that is bottled up for no gain. On 2nd down, that is rammed in the backfield. DJ Samuels, like a missile, TFL.
From that jack position, he came hell-bent for election on that one, Connor. Watch number 42, man. He's going to squat down and read no indecision in his decision-making. That's how you know that the film work is married together with your actions, and being able to do that is impressive. Going the other direction. That's a pretty good running back he brought down in the backfield.
Maryland looking for anything to try to turn this game that's 24-0 Gophers. Brosmer out of the pocket and throws it away. Quick stop for Maryland. Well, let's check on a flag.
Holding. Defense. Number 25. 10-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. Automatic. First down.
Been 4th and 17 instead 1st and 10. And some downhill running for Marcus Major. Out near another first down with an 8-yard pickup. Major has relieved some of the blow, and Samuels is in there again.
Samuels is a heat-seeking missile, man, and there's no question that he saw exactly what he wanted to see and then reacted to it. A lot of times players don't marry the two. There's a little bit of a hesitation, but the confidence comes from watching quality film. And when you see something that looks familiar, you go get after it. Samuels did just that.
2 best plays of the day for Maryland have come on this drive from Samuels. Another shot at a 3rd down to get off the field for the Terps. Brosmer across the middle and off hands, incomplete. Punt return duties for the 2nd straight week. Crawford short off of Parrish and into the hands of Felton. That could have pinballed around and been disaster.
It hit a Minnesota player in the back, so it would have been inconsequential there.
And this drive starts with Parrish in the backfield. He's sure to add to the great safety history under P.J. Fleck here at Minnesota. Octavian Smith, it's 3rd down.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense. Number 91 with a low hit on the quarterback. The 15-yard penalty will be added on to the end of the play. First down.
So that hit has Maryland out near midfield. Pressure off the edge and up the middle. And Edwards bravely hung in there and has a first down to his tight end, Howard. Devin Williams that close from the sack.
Well, you can see the pressure coming from the outside. It's going to come from outside here, up top, right? And that pressure is something you've got to be mindful of. Again, Edwards has seen the pressure come in so many different angles from him today, and it's affected his productivity. You got to wonder what's going on in his head.
Ja Joyner broke free. Edwards away again. And almost a highlight catch for Howard. Edwards escapes. Finney couldn't get to him. And keeps it himself before Lindenberg stops him shy of the 30. That brings up 3rd down. First look not there. Second look is there. Dylan Wade extends the drive. The tight end for the Terps with the first down. Not yet to the midway point of the 2nd quarter. Terps looking for the first score, and Joyner with pressure one more time. raking the arm of Billy Edwards, forcing it incomplete.
Well, I'm telling you, this guy is like a script, right? He talked about pregame earlier this week, the ability to affect the coverage here. I want you to watch him outside here. Watch him nail and get in what we call a wide nine technique, a rip arm under, and just enough to get that right arm to affect the release of the quarterback. And Billy's been feeling his presence all afternoon.
Maryland's got to start thinking about chips and doubles all the time, right?
Absolutely, man.
Williams up to make that play. Third down coming.
They're showing more a pressure look. You got three guys standing up. One of them was a defensive back defender on the edge. Let's see if they pick up the coverage. Here's blitz.
Edwards underneath to Henby. Fourth down as they rally up to get him. For the first Maryland points of the day, House makes it a 3-score game more than midway through the second quarter. Brosmer back in there and complete to Daniel Jackson. First down for the Gophers.
Great job moving the ball a little bit through the air. Now they can change it up. Success on the ground begats this, right? Play action does it. When you're working, you got success there. Because there's a down terp on the field.
The unofficial mascot of the Mets has made its way to the Twin Cities. An inside run for short pickup. Give Taylor a yard on that play.
So you can afford to throw the ball a little bit and preserve some of that time and take some shots.
Back to the air here. Contested catch. Daniel Jackson. And he's roped down short of the first down. Chance Harley had tight coverage.
Well, that was a great throw, man. You couldn't have thrown that ball any better. It may have been just for 8 yards again, but the outcut here shows you the ability. An inside pivot and return, but if you place that ball inside, that's headed the other direction, right? High and away. Nice ball, and it's caught exactly where it needs to be for the completion.
First down earlier this drive, now looking for another. It's Taylor shedding a tackle at the line, and a first down for Darius Taylor. Minnesota, and that's caught. A diving play for Elijah Spencer. Minnesota right back on the march. First and goal.
I think that was Caleb Wheatland in a trail technique. And when you got a linebacker being asked to do this, to be a robber, that's a tough call right there. You got a streaking wide receiver going over the middle of the field, and you're asking a guy who's essentially a middle linebacker to make a defense of that play. That's really tough sledding in open space.
On first and goal, it's Taylor. Patient and then fast through the hole inside the 5.
Love that description. It reminds me of Edgerrin James on that one. Slow to, fast through. A little hesitation, and when you see it, he's big, but you know what? He's got the ability, Connor, to hit that and take it. See that little hesitation, like you said? Slow to, but fast through when he gets there. Just a little 3 yards or so. This is significant down here near the green zone. Actually now inside the 5 yard, which is the green zone.
This is Major in the backfield, and he's stopped up well shy of the goal line. Wheatland and several others there for Maryland. And here comes third down. Now their defense looks for a third down stop.
Nice switch.
Brosmer protected, and there's Jackson underneath for another Gophers touchdown.
Felt bad for Lonnell Whitaker, man, number 17. He's playing in a nickel position and in a backup role, trying to cover the guy that's caught everything that's come his way. And it's just one of those difficult assignments that you draw. And when you watch him come underneath this coverage here, it's impossible to do it, right? He's streaking, and it creates separation almost instantly. Decent or just a local pass, anything that's in the general area, he's going to catch that one and hit his head against the Gophers.
Jackson came in. You mentioned all the yards and catches he's had. Just the one touchdown. He's going to leave this first half with double his touchdown total on the year.
Incredible.
Fair catch called for by Smith. the drive for Maryland, and Hemby is dragged down by Lindenberg. Big drive down, get those first 3 points of the day, but Minnesota's continue to pour it on. Out to Ty Felton, shedding a tackle of McMillan, and a first down for Felton. They've held Felton to just 3 catches in this first half and targeted again. And every drive for Maryland the rest of the game feels like a must as far as having points. And incomplete again over the middle. Third down. Minnesota gets the ball out of halftime after they deferred the opening coin toss.
Pressure upside.
Couple guys drop out. Edwards into it. Fires it complete to Ty Felton. That's another conversion for Felton on this drive.
That's a great job of showing pressure, then bailing out, and as a quarterback, not being affected by that full pressure look. Got it out to his #1 target, just in time. Significant gains, change move.
Benches up. So as many catches on this drive for Felton as he's had the rest of this half. 2. Might be harder now. Felton just went off the field limping.
And they're playing a cover 2 shell, which means that's safe.
Oh, that way off target, trying to set up a quick pop out to Knotts. Robinson pressed up on Caden Prather. One of the favorite targets of Edwards on third down. Steps up through pressure again, and a reaching try at it for Prather. Yields a first down. Inside the red zone, now to the back shoulder and incomplete. Against Prather and Felton, the top 2 big play wide receivers in the Big Ten the last 2 years. Play fake underneath. Edwards back the other way and sings it in there for another first down. Dylan Wade, first and goal for the Terps with a minute to go. A late sub brings Henderson into the game. And Ray to that side of the formation is stops. Second and goal for Maryland. Edwards keeps it himself, and a walk-in touchdown.
When you get down here in the green area, you got some split flow action that's going here. The quarterback is going to make that same direction, an opportunity to get into the end zone, and the eye discipline has got to be on point, right? When the back and the tight end crisscross like that, if you're an inside linebacker, you're going to see one of them, but believe me, it's almost impossible not to see both of them.
Came on the touchdown. Something from long ago.
Max is the best.
Flag out on the kickoff.
Ball be placed at the 35-yard line on the right hash. First and 10.
That was a quick celebrity triangle. Waldo with Larry David, Dustin Hoffman. That's a Minnesota with about half a minute to go. 1 timeout. Complete to Taylor. 2 interceptions in this first half. 1 led to points directly on a pick 6. And back over the middle. Brosmer has it complete. Jamison Gears with the reaching catch. And now they're right on the edge of field goal range. 22-yard connection. They run up to clock it. And with 16 seconds left, another big one sets him up to the 35.
Oh, nice.
Brosmer protected back to that part of the field, but incomplete. Nice score. And Brosmer to the boundary, and Jackson turns around to snare it. Kesich from 34. And to extend the lead before the break, Kesich drills it. Second straight week, trying to come back after they beat USC and doing it on defense first. As Minnesota gets the opening kickoff of the second half. And it'll start out near the 25-yard line, the return for Jordan Newman. Brosmer 18 of 23 at quarterback in the first half for Minnesota. And complete to start the second half to Taylor. And out of the backfield, Darius Taylor has a first down.
Yeah, the ball's going to move even further. There's going to be a penalty tacked on that. There's going to be a late hit on the quarterback. And again, the pressure underneath is there. defensive tackle gets underneath there, and he just hits him right on the top of the head. And that's just a little bit too late for the official.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, hands to the face, 15-yard penalty be added on to the end of the run. First down.
Plus territory for Brosmer in Minnesota with this early third-quarter lead. And Brosmer on target again. Daniel Jackson stays on his feet. Through the hit of Dante Trader, Daniel Jackson up to 9 catches, 117 yards at receiver for Minnesota. Back to the run game with Taylor. And he's wrapped up by Husky in run support up from safety. And Greg Harbaugh has gone from a 56% run offense last year to the opposite of that, 55% pass offense this season. Through the air here, out to the back, Major, and like a bar of soap out there. The squeeze is out of his hands, incomplete. So it brings up third down. Minnesota is in field goal range here at the 25 for their kicker, Kesich. They drilled one right before halftime.
Let's see if they can sort out this little cluster formation. Somebody should come open. Nice.
Brosmer looking for a shot. Wide open man, Spencer. Touchdown for the Gophers, who just keep on rolling on homecoming.
I saw that one coming, partner. Bunch formation here. You got to be able to sort this out, right? Those 3 defenders are responsible for these 3, and the nice little tight end punch in the middle of the field is what did it. Frank Bierman did a wonderful job of getting 2 defenders distracted enough where he can come open in the back of that end zone. Outstanding job, Elijah Spencer. Second time he's visited pay dirt today.
No slowing down for Minnesota out of halftime. It takes them 2 minutes. And they score once again. Starting on the run with Roman Hemby. That was a change made out of the bye week for Maryland. With a lot of work to do to try to come back in this game. And back-to-back runs will bring up third down. On third down, Edwards. Pressure from behind. Got it away. And there is Octavian Smith. The guy that they need to take some pressure off Prather and Felton with a first down.
Great movement right there in the pocket. And Struggle rush in was putting pressure on him. And just before he got the ball there, he was able to get it out for a positive 19-yard gain. You saw switch coverage underneath, just a zone. Find that voided space and just sit down in there. Present your numbers to the quarterback. Easy pitch and catch.
So after Smith moved the chains, they go right back to him with another first down. Deep into Minnesota territory across the 25. And DeJuan Williams checks in at running back after the first down. Fake to him, out to Felton, and that is blown up. Jack Henderson smothers the screen to Ty Felton. We weren't sure, Minnesota wasn't sure how much Henderson would be in there today against this pass-heavy look for Maryland. Usually they use McMillan in those spots, that position. Underneath to Williams. And Lindenberg brings up third down, driving the feet. Felton down to the bottom side on third down. Edwards looking at him, goes underneath instead, and that is way short of the sticks. It's just a 3-yard gain, fourth down and 8. On fourth down and 8, offense still out there. And Edwards making a run for it, and he's submarine short. Fourth down stop of the day for Kerry Brown. Back in there healthy, and the Gophers get the ball back.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Second down and 2 to start the fourth. Darius Taylor.
Oh, he's so good.
Squeaks his way out of a tackle. Now hits the sideline. Open grass in front, and he is gone.
Connor, he is so good. You're going to watch several opportunities here where he changes gears. He reads, reacts, protects the ball, both arms, and then highs and tight, carries it up like Tiki Barber, old school, and then the little flipper on the back end of it. This guy right here is so unique, man. A concentration of or a cluster of athletic ability, size, speed, all of that, and the ability to make quality decisions when in traffic. That guy right there has got a high engagement level. He's going to be productive for a long time, no matter what he does.
Touchback. Maryland will come back onto the field on offense with a new quarterback, we think. MJ Morris was warming up.
All right.
Billy Edwards had his helmet off. So a transfer from NC State, who just lost out in the quarterback battle in fall camp against Billy Edwards, comes out to run the rest of the game most likely.
I think he's had a fourth quarter touchdown against Villanova. Hadn't seen a lot of them. His sample size is relatively small, but he's got athletic ability. And Edwards has had a long day, so they're going to spell him. Let the young kid come in and see what he can do. And face pressure right off the top.
And Cody Lindenberg was seeking a sack and said it's Ty Felton for a first down. Morris back-to-back completions, both to Felton, both for first downs.
Oh, nice.
Dewan Williams, he has a crease out to the edge, through an arm tackle, and finishes forward also, out of bounds, 3-point Parrish.
Now, when you start moving those defensive linemen in there in the interior, you start doing this kind of stuff, you vacate spaces, right? And that little hole naturally opens up because you're running what we call inside games and deals. Connor, they'll make deals with each other. Those linemen will say, okay, I'll take your responsibility if you take mine, but we can't make it obvious. Let's confuse them. So we'll twist at the line of scrimmage. It's called gaming and dealing. And it works, but when it doesn't, you get gashed.
Jim Carrey reference, not Drew Carrey reference. Let's make it deal. There's Caden Prather, and he's close to the first down. They'll give it to him. Well, good start for MJ Morris here. All three of his completions have gone for first downs. He's handing off to Dewan Williams. Morris, perfect start through the air, and almost had the touchdown to Knotts, but a flag is out. Jack Henderson in coverage.
So you see Henderson, he's trying to close that gap, but maybe he doesn't get his
Pass
head around.
interference. Defense, number 20. Ball be placed at the 2-yard line, automatic, first down.
So you get the big bodies in there. Tajay Johnson in blocking, so is Samuels. And out to the edge, Samuels has a touchdown.
This is the guy that they're optioning right here. Pulls it out, that defensive end gobbles him up, but he leaves the big back, the one who they think is going to block all the time, wide open for a touchdown and score. It's a great play design because it's totally left-handed, right? You see all those bodies on that unbalanced look, you think you're going to the right, and they just take fewer men and achieve more going to the left.
Morris stays out there to go for two. And his receiver fell down. Prather tangled up with Molly. Well, Brosmer, the starting quarterback, still in there with a lot of the starters around him, including Spencer. Darius Taylor is tripped up, played by Daniel Wingate. And Taylor drives ahead for a first down for Minnesota. Nowhere to go.
Well, there's one thing with Reddick diving in there, making a play behind the line of scrimmage. You can't tell me there's not a lot of twitch and a lot of athletic ability. That's one thing that Locks does extremely well. He's been doing it for a long time. And at different iterations, different times when he's been at Maryland, he's always got the great talent, man. You guys have mentioned Aurelius Ben and some of those other guys he had back in years past. Ron Zook and some of the other guys that he brought in to help him. He's got a little secret weapon there now. A lot of people don't remember, but Kevin Sumlin is now his associate head coach and co-offensive coordinator. You'll start to see some of his stuff emerge as well. He coached the Heisman Trophy winner in Johnny Manziel.
Brosmer out of the drop back, reaching catch for Callerup, his second catch of the game. Moves the chains for a first down.
This is what you don't want, but we talked at the beginning, to be able to move chains and sustain drives this way is impressive. And they're doing it old school now through their tight ends. We've seen it on the last two possessions, and there's been no answer yet. So the clock starts to tick, and the possessions are being stolen away from Maryland.
Approaching the midway point of the fourth quarter. You mentioned Minnesota scoring 40-plus points today. Iowa scoring 40-plus points today. We are almost exactly a year removed from Minnesota-Iowa ending 12-10. If you were sitting here at this time last year telling me that both teams put up 40 on the same day in a Big Ten game, you would have said what?
Absolutely. And what I take away from that,
absolutely?
it's intentional is what I would say, that the point differential is higher now because of the evolution of the league. I'm not saying I would have expected it last year, but this year, because of the additions of USC and UCLA, with the potential great minds, you got Chip Kelly and Ryan Day combining offensively on the throw game and the run game, you know going in you're going to have to score points. So I don't care if you're Iowa or Iowa State. Hey, they got the message there in Iowa State for sure.
I'm still struggling to believe that you would have said it would have happened.
Well, I think we had North Dakota and Iowa State to begin the year. Go Balls. First
Timeout.
balls.
Minnesota, their first of the half.
Runs into a fourth down. Weird seeing another guy wear number 24 at Minnesota, Mo Ibrahim, the all-time leading rusher here. He's back helping out the team.
He's on the staff now. I mean, he does a great job with that. And again, I know he had an injury late in his career, but boy, I tell you, very few ran as effectively as he did during his era and his stretch here. He did a wonderful job for this program. To have him back on the staff and listen to PJ talk about that, it's pretty impressive, man.
It was strange watching some of the early games this year, seeing Major run around. There's another 24 at Minnesota. Ibrahim broke Darrell Thompson's rushing record here.
Late game. Offense, number 96. 5-yard penalty. Remains fourth down.
Shooting in there, wasn't he?
Wasn't he? Man, he came in there like a heat-seeking missile, man. Him coming in there, intercontinental ballistic missile, man. He was intentional. It just goes to show that these guys are not giving up. They're competing at the high level, playing the game the way it's meant to be played. Rowing that boat, baby. You're absolutely right. This guy, you mind.
Himself, and it's third down. And Morris accurate again. Felton turning upfield. There's nobody even close on the Big Ten receiving leaderboard to Felton. Oh, this is for Knotts. He's behind Robinson and hauls it in. MJ Morris is now 6 of 6 through the air. That's his biggest hitter of the day on his second drive.
And the pattern is they're going after number 2 again, second play in a row. Watch him track this ball right here, right? Number 4 is eyeing that ball. He, you know, the only thing I would say is you got to pluck that thing out with your hands, but he brings it in and makes a nice overfield catch.
Aiden Gooseby is down on defense for Minnesota. Starter's got it deep into the night.
Yeah, that's how you set it up, man. Take him as deep as you can go, then close.
Morris just hit Shalik Knotts for 49 yards. Back to the end zone for Felton, who has it wrestled away by Wally.
You know, I think Felton could have sold that. As good as he is, this is just splitting hairs, folks at home. if you can just wait till the last minute and pretend that ball is not coming because the defender's back is to your way. Wally isn't looking, right? So what you do is you keep your arms down, and you're athletic enough to snatch that thing at the last moment. And you say, well, you're splitting hairs, Spencer. Of course I am. This guy, number 10, is able to make that play. That's why you challenge him.
I didn't say that. First incompletion for M.J.
Nice
Morris.
job of feeling it.
Man, he is sacked. Well, no, he got it back across the line. Anthony Smith got him. Ends up as a gain of 1. Beautiful. On 3rd and 9, Morris has an open man. It's Nuts plowing his way in for a touchdown. One-yard tutty.
Somebody was hiding on the sideline saying, stay at the sticks, and at the last minute, they bailed out the Gophers into a kind of a prevent 3-cross type look. And they had enough men back there, but they were so far off the ball before Knotts got it. The momentum alone would have gotten them into the end zone. Again, great job of discerning what the defense was and getting them to play that would work.
Bright future there, Shalik Knotts. Prather and Felton get a lot of the love, deservedly so, but like Loxley told us a couple of weeks ago, Knotts might be the best of them all by the end of it. Gotta like what you've seen from M.J. Morris if you're Maryland.
Yeah, no question. I mean, these orchestrated opportunities, but it was within his suite of skills.
For Max Brosmer. We could call it that even if it didn't technically get to half 100.
No, we got to get to 50. Got to get 50. Call it that.
Whitkey handing off again. And first down to the grounds.
Yeah, got to stay in bounds. Just, staying engaged at a high level. It's an unlucky number, 13. It was 13 yards, and needed to stay in bounds and keep that clock ticking.
Brosmer's day ends with 320 yards.
How about that?
Career high. At Minnesota. He had more than that at New Hampshire. Minnesota career high. Inside give for Mangum, and that should do it. No drop off after the bye week for PJ Fleck in Minnesota. They win and row their way to a 3rd straight win and 1 game away, 1 win away from bowl eligibility.
Well, that wasn't the light that they saw